We're just a couple of guys from the toy community that love to talk about action figures.
We like toys and stuff, and we definitely don't shut up. So,
I'm Eric. This is my friend Jarod. We plan on discussing everything to do with action figures. We're going to go through new releases, to our individual custom projects, to our collections, into our photography even. Guys, whoever's watching this, please expect foul
or
language.
girls.
Guys and girls, and in the middle between, if you're watching this, expect foul language, inappropriate behavior, a lot of stupid opinions, and a
Drug
lot of love
use.
for toys.
A little bit of drug use in there too. Let's
There
shake it
may
around.
be some adult activities, but in the country I am, Canada, especially Ontario,
Oh shit,
Jared's
eh?
in Michigan, we got legal marijuana. So you might
Legal.
see some partaking.
We are legal. We're 100% legal over here now.
I'm allowed to do this shit, so is he. If you're
We
not, don't do it.
previously we previously have done some other shows, including the Action Toy Art podcast. This is a whole new avenue for us. We're going to try to keep the show a little bit more innocuous. We're not going to have the random people on like we used to. We'll try to get guests on eventually. So if you're gravitating towards the show, you can go ahead and contact either one of us on Instagram. His handle is Eric Plays, or E7 Plays, I should say. I am Traumatic Exposure. So definitely, if you guys are feeling the show, we are the 12-inch podcast, 12 inches and under, even though I do have a 14-inch figure on the way. That's a whole
Doesn't count.
different story, though. That's a whole different story, though.
Definitely,
But
guys, if you're watching this and you want to be a guest on this show, go through an interview and join the discussion of what we're talking about,
help
by
us
all
out with
means.
news. Yeah, help us out with news. Help us out with projects you're doing. We'd love to share your other stuff. We love dioramas, custom figures. The sky's the limit. Basically, Eric and I's collection has changed in the past year or so. We collect a little bit different. We still buy heavy. We still make customs, what have you, but we've gravitated a little bit more into designer toys or exclusive things and stuff like that. We'll give you guys news about, maybe Marvel Legends and NECA stuff and like that, but don't expect us to be buying any of this shit really. So
So the format of the show is definitely we're just conversating about action figures. We're
keeping
gonna
it
go
loose.
we're gonna go through news, new releases. We're gonna hit up Big Bad and talk about the shit that we see there. If we have a guest on, we're gonna go interview the guest for a bit to get an idea who he is. We're gonna go through our individual weeks in the hobby, where it be photography, customizing, dial creating, all of it. So, and then we might even hit the end of the podcast with a nice smoke down session. How do you feel about that, Jared?
You know me, bro. I'm
So we'll
ready.
even get the fucking blaze up together, boys. That's nice. So we'll get the show started, Jared. If you want to hit up Big Baz, where we'll start, and we'll talk about the news.
Oh yeah. So can you see the shared screen I got rocking here, buddy?
I do see it. I see right off the
Garbage.
bat Marvel Legends coming out.
Wah, 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 wah.
So, Jared, what is your initial opinion about not even Marvel Legends, but Hasbro, what they're doing right now?
Well, for one, I remember this figure being a big letdown and it kind of being a huge peg warmer.
So,
I'm not sure why they want to do it again. And also, it's like it looks like it's not in a case. They're
so
just gonna get
this is
what, a case of big time letdown Spider-Man?
so this is big time Spider-Man. We saw this initially in the Return of Marvel Legends.
Yeah, that was definitely the like 2011, 2012.
That's like the classic Bucky cap waves, those
Yep.
style packaging.
Oh, but it's not the Bucky cap anymore. We added the new book onto him.
You know
Oh no!
what? It's basically the Black Spider-Man with painted green lines.
Right.
This is
So,
classic Hasbro reusing shit for us to get hyped on.
and I mean, if you guys are super hype on this stuff, that's awesome. I'm at a point in my collection right now where Mezco is killing it, and One six figures are killing it. These are supposed to be cloth, and the fact that they look so plasticky to me is just like, we had it when this was as good as it was. I was all about it. I was all about Marvel Legends when I didn't really think there was anything else
That's
better at
all
the
we had.
time.
We didn't have much
Really
better.
all we had, you know,
Yeah.
and it was fun. You could pay 20 bucks, or some people were getting some scalper ones in there, so there was some heavily expensive Marvel Legends as well. But if you were able to get it at the store, and then that's the other aspect too, is you're driving from store to store and you're looking online because there's chase figures and there's not as many in some cases, and the popularity of other figures. It's just so tough with the Marvel Legends. And I tell people all the time, they're like, oh, I can't afford those Mezco. If you stop buying little $20 figures here and there, you could.
You know
So
what?
what do you think?
That whole you're pretty much described like rampant consumerism.
Absolutely. I mean,
Like
you're at the grocery store, you're already buying fucking tampons and you're buying fucking douches and stuff. You might as well walk over to the toy section and just slap 20 more dollars onto your credit card that you're not going to pay for.
okay, here's the thing. I also see a separation in the collector because me and you, Jared, we're in the older range of collectors. We're also in the range of collectors that have been collecting for quite a long time. The
Hmm.
new collectors do love this shit. And that's the thing. I can't hate on a new collector for liking this shit. But when it comes to us, we've seen this stuff recycled twice now.
Hmm.
Like for instance, the big time Spider-Man. We're seeing it again
Yeah.
now.
They're like,
You
what
know,
else? What else are we going to do? We'll just redo a figure that was a peg warmer to begin with.
we know for a fact that Hasbro, Mattel, all these big companies are big enough to not care about the individual collector. They don't care if the eyes are wonky, if it's the 13th Iron Man or Captain America is coming out. It's money. That's what they care
Hmm.
about. And when you talk about that and they go from like 3 or 4 waves a year to like 11 waves a year, it's obvious.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is like they put you in a position where they're releasing these so much, and you really only want sometimes the bath or one or two figures in there, and then you're just kind of fucking fucked to begin with. Because,
Dude, I'm seeing people stressed about collecting toys.
dude, people are swapping the boxes and taking it back with a Wonder Woman fucking figure in order to get like this Jubilee. Like, the dumb person working at your Walmart doesn't know the difference when you go to return these, and that's a really fucked up situation. And I haven't seen them change their box yet
It's
either.
almost like
We've been
they don't
talking about that.
care.
I mean, maybe they don't. The one thing lately though is there's a lot of up and down about this particular Caliban Wave Beast figure. Now, everybody
Mhm.
loves the articulation to him, but I've been seeing a lot of unsatisfied people with the face sculpt. I have seen like a Phoenix Force, I believe, did a redo. He added some sculpt to the face. He painted the eyes so they weren't just white. He added
Mhm.
detail to the teeth. He basically turned it into an old Toy Biz figure. And again, I don't understand why we're still not in a situation where, I get it. Marvel, you want to give us your $25 fucking garbage figures that are still producing? That's fine. Why aren't we getting a more premium formatted version that has better paint apps, maybe a few pieces of cloth on it, and maybe some more accessories? Put it in the $50, $60, even $70, $80 like the Mezcos are doing.
That's a tough one. I think, to be honest, I think some of the lure is the lower price
I
point
mean,
on the
but then
legends.
but then where's Mezco at then?
And that's what we were talking about earlier too. You know what? People say, "Oh, Mezco's too expensive," or this, that, the other. All you have to do is not buy two Marvel Legends, and you can pretty much afford a Mezco.
That's what I'm seeing. That's exactly what I've been seeing. Like, and I get it. You're at the store, you're already buying ice cream, you're already trying to, like, not deal with life. So you're
Let's
gonna
not
run over to the toy section, and then you're like, "Oh, there's a Black Panther. I'm gonna buy the Black Panther."
let's not forget too that we're being fucking like shit on both Marvel stuff with dude movies, this figures. The dude Marvel Legends are pushing the cosplay shit for over $100 a pop. They're trying to cash in while we're fucking cashing out on them.
Right.
Because they're like, you know what? This shit's not gonna last. We better pump out as much as we can. We've seen it with lots of other toy lines throughout the years as well.
I mean, this shit is cool. I'm totally all about the fact that they're doing one-to-one scale props that light up. I've seen a couple of these. There's obviously an Infinity Gauntlet coming out for Tony Stark. They have a Star-Lord head that's been out for a while. A buddy of mine did pick up the Black Panther one, said that was a lot of fun as well. I'm all about these. This is definitely something cool you can have as a collector. Like, this is to me more of the premium format. I mean, they're $100, but they're usually light up. They usually are super fucking cool, and they're already ready to cosplay. So if you get the rest of the outfit, the helmet is seemingly the hardest part sometimes.
So you don't think it's just Hasbro trying to get more $100 for a fucking helmet that just has some batteries and some lights in it?
I mean, I'm not saying I don't know what it costs to make any of this shit run, but I mean, it's usually these go discounted pretty quick too. I mean, they did it Toys R Us, so
Okay.
you kind of wait around. I mean, I believe he picked up the Black Panther for $30, so
Well,
they
that's
do get a little bit
different. I think
of.
that's different than fucking $100 for something like this. Again, in my opinion, Hasbro cashing out on the movies.
Absolutely, and I would too, but I'd give people a more premium format. Like, give me a Thanos that doesn't look like he's taking a dump. That face of his, he's like no, I don't want to see Thanos like looking either confused or like he should be going to the bathroom.
And that's the thing too. It's
I mean, look at
still
Hot
hit or
Toys.
miss
Hot
with.
Toys is right. Hot Toys is charging you 141 for a 1/4 scale. You can't even fit your hand in this fucking thing unless you're a baby. You can put this on your baby.
And like these are promotional images. Is it gonna look this way in your
Hot
hand?
Toys? Yeah.
Oh,
This
this is
Hot
Hot
Toys,
Toys.
baby.
This is a bit. How much is this Hot Toys one?
$141, 1/4 scale. Only your baby's arm can fit in there.
See, and what? I don't know. What the fuck is that about?
Everybody just wants to, oh, Tony Stark had, oh, spoiler alert. Oh,
So
no,
that's
Tony
not gonna
Stark
come
had the
with the Hot
Infinity
Toys
Gauntlet.
Hulk or something. That just comes by itself. There.
This is just a 1/4 scale. Like, you just set this
So
up.
it's just like this. It's like this big.
It's bigger than
So,
that.
well,
It's
1/4
like,
scale on a.
yeah, it's like oh, yeah, 1/4 scale is usually an 18-inch figure.
Right.
So yeah, yeah,
Oh.
I guess like yeah, it's not
For
big.
141 bucks.
Like I said, you could put your baby's arm in there. So, and then there's a life size one as well. So Hot Toys is doing a full
Ooh.
size for $376. This one you could stick your dick in too if you wanted to. You could Dickfinity Gauntlet.
The funny
No
thing
big deal.
too is that Hasbro spoiled the movie by releasing that early.
Well,
Not the Hot
then
Toys, but
I
Hasbro.
know, but then again, it's like, okay, you have what seemingly is the most popular movie out right now. And
Well,
it's like,
2 billion.
what is with this whole, like, if you care enough about the fucking movie and you don't want it to be fucking spoiled, go out and fucking watch the goddamn thing. Even the Chinese government gave you a perfectly good bootleg copy online. There literally is no excuse to have not seen the movie in fucking a week. I'm sorry. I'm
True.
not buying that shit.
So
Like,
you
it's
just
the
touched on a
most popular movie that we all have to sit back and shut up about. Like, no.
you touched
Not
on a
about
good
that.
point I was just talking about earlier. Who the fuck says it's okay or when it's not okay to
Who's
spoil
making the
shit?
rules?
Who the
Yeah.
fuck is making these rules? I'm gonna fucking spoil it if I want to, dickface.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, dude, I went to go see that thing on the opening weekend. I was very
Twice.
busy, but I made time to go see it. Yeah, exactly. I
Mm-hmm.
saw it twice. And it's like if you're in the position of you care enough that you don't want things spoiled, like either shut all of your devices off or go fucking see it. Like you're worried about me spoil. Oh no, Captain America has a Mjolnir. Oh my god, the whole movie's ruined for me. I don't even want to go see it now. Shut up.
And like
Anyway,
as soon it's funny too, because like as soon as like they're like, oh, it's okay to spoil it now, guys. Everyone's like, boom, I'll do the same shit.
right.
Let's
It's
all do
like, oh,
Captain
he
America
did it,
wielding Mjolnir. Let's all do
but
Fat Thor.
he spoiled it for me, so I can go and spoil it if everyone else now too. It's like, no, just spoil it. Don't worry about it. Moving on.
Like, yeah, this guy, yeah, fuck it. Let's keep going here, bud.
So there is a lot of Hellboys coming out. Mezco has one as well, but you can guarantee I have got this on pre-order. This is the
Jesus.
1/6 scale Hellboy from Hot Toys. I saw this movie twice. I have to be honest, I think it's better than the Guillermo del Toro movies. It's a rated R movie filled with tons of gore. The actor who was in Stranger Things did a phenomenal job, very sarcastic, very comedical. It's way more in the vein of what I feel the comics tried to represent, which is comedy, cheesiness, sarcasm. The other movies did that as well, but they changed Hellboy's character to be more. He didn't like cats. He didn't want to have a relationship. Like those things were okay in those movies, but this one is definitely more of the lone gun rebel without a cause, or he does have a cause, a rebel with a cause sort of deal. But this figure is absolutely amazing. The only thing is, I am trying to figure out how they're making this work. I
Okay,
don't
so
see any wires or.
let's go over this. When we're talking about a figure, we're gonna go over a little bit of a template, if you will. So right away, this is Hot Toys again. Hellboy, new movie. And what's your initial impressions, bud?
This is one of the greatest figures I've seen. Like he has what they're doing now is they're giving a skeleton underneath the body and then they're putting on this rubberized body, on top of
Really?
them so you don't see any of the joints. His abs still crunch, his arms still articulate, but throughout at least the upper portion of the body, you will
Right.
not see any sort of joints or anything like that. The only thing I am disappointed in is how Hot Toys really doesn't do a lot of
Hair.
hair, like real hair. So that's the only thing I'm wondering about. I don't think it will get in the way of the figure, but I'm debating if I want to have somebody rip this hair off and put real hair on it. But it is a Hot Toy figure, so I
I'll
don't
tell you
know.
what. I'll tell you what, dude. Some of the best figures out there, the hair ruins them.
You think so?
Like this hair on this almost takes away from it. Don't you feel?
I
Like
mean,
it
I gotta
needs
have it
rooted
in.
hair, I feel.
All right. Well, anyway, the figure has all sorts of belts and clips, just like he did in the movie. He has the BPRD shirt. He comes with a shirtless, obviously. He has his trench coat. He comes with his guns. It looks like he has a removable horns. That's the only part that I'm not sure of. If the
Mm.
horns are attached to what is a thorn, or I'm sorry, an on fire crown. Spoiler alert, this is Excalibur from King Arthur's sword. You get two
Ooh,
different versions of it. One is on fire. The other one features a kind of a electrical field that you can set inside of it. Looks like the base is on fire as well. Several different hands, including his club fist hand, having three different options for it. He
wow.
has all his chains. I don't know. This thing, there's no way I'm saving up for this motherfucker. I don't.
So he does seem a little more pricey than Hot Toys. I see them going for around 230-ish normally. An
Uh,
extra 30 bucks here.
This is your big bad. I have him on pre-order
Right.
from a Asian site. I believe it's around 230.
Oh, yeah, so yeah, you're right. Big Bad does have that markup being the middleman.
Well,
So,
they're importing it for you basically.
right.
So, they're gonna tax on a little bit onto that.
Right on, dude.
Um, another thing I was really pleased with the end game was Ronan. I thought they
Mm.
did a fantastic job of bringing Jeremy Renner back into the fold as Ronan. I wish we would actually get a Ronan standalone movie, but that's obviously not going to happen because he got his family back. Spoiler alert, we're just spoiling the whole end game. But this Hot Toys looks absolutely fantastic. I know that SH Figuarts has a version coming out. I'm not buying that one, but I'm sure you guys are, and that's all that matters. But this one looks super stellar as well. I'm sure you guys have seen all sorts of images of this one already, but he's got his crossbow. I'm sure he has. I hope he has a samurai sword. I
He's
don't know.
wearing
He doesn't even come with a samurai sword.
he's wearing the transport communicator from the end game when they go
Yeah.
Back to the Future. Back to the
Hey,
Future.
when they time heist.
Sorry, time heist. You know what's fucked up about that, dude? I just watched some of the newer Star Trek movies, and it's almost the same fucking story.
Basically.
They're going back and forth, and it's Spock, new Spock, young Spock, old Spock. It's almost the same fucking thing, dude.
You got to get spocked up, bro. But yeah,
All right,
this
so that's
thing
cool.
looks.
We're looking at the
I think
Hot Toys Hawkeye. So now we're gonna go on.
this is. So I guess people were under the impression that Hot Toys was going to stop producing figures, and they had
Star
taken a break
Wars?
for a while. No, just Hot Toys in general.
Oh wow.
And this was the first figure that they kind of released images of and let people know that, I don't know, I think they did have financial problems for a while. I don't know why they're charging fucking an arm and a leg for these figures,
Skimming
but
corporate shit.
maybe, right, but maybe, they're putting more into them than they're getting back. I don't know, but we can't all afford to just keep buying Hot Toys too, though. So I
No.
understand this slowing their roll on the Hot Toys aspect because, even if you love the thing, you definitely can't be spending $235 for every figure. But currently, we are looking at the no, this is not Obi-Wan. This is Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yep.
Hot Toys figure. He comes with a few of the he has a little image device that he can see other figures. So we have I think
Projector.
Yoda, and I'm not sure what this other figure is supposed to be. Maybe it's Palpatine or maybe
Right.
it's Obi-Wan. I'm not sure, but
All
this
the stuff
figure
they use in
definitely
the movie.
looks right. But again, he was in one fucking movie, The Phantom Menace, and you're gonna spend $234 on him? No.
Okay, but now you're getting into the topic of Star Wars fans.
Right.
And they will spend that, and that's actually Hot Toys being smart on their end by releasing that at being Star
Oh,
Wars.
I completely agree. I'm not gonna definitely not gonna take that away from you.
It's hard to review Hot Toys, I'll tell you that much. It seems like they're all very similar, but they're all
Yeah.
just they're all just great. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely.
We're moving
So
on from Hot Toys.
I mean, another company that seems to be gaining a lot of steam lately is Mafex, whatever you want to call it. This is a pre-order right now for their Cyclops. I do like that this company, even though their prices are even higher than SH Figuarts,
Higher than
they
Mezco,
do,
even.
I mean, higher than Mezco too. You're absolutely right. They are giving you options though for your figure. So what you're seeing here is a angry face that looks like it has a little bit of heat coming out of his visor as he does. I believe the next image here that my computer is struggling to click on actually does have the beam shooting out of his eyes. That looks awkward though, with him just having like a stale face shooting his I don't know though.
Can I tell you
Scott,
something about Mafex?
ooh, he's got the fucking pleasure poser though for Jean Grey. Nice.
I think
Anyway, what were you
Mafex
gonna say?
is what Hasbro should be doing. This is
That's
what
what I
Marvel
mean.
Legends should look like.
So see, that's exactly what I was basically trying to get at. Eric obviously has a rampage of dogs in his background there, but that's fine. His wife will kill him or
I'll kill
something.
him later. Don't worry.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. It looks like you're getting 3 different head sculpts for this. He's got blast effects. The paint applications are always pretty good on these. I haven't gotten a Mayfix figure in a while, so I don't know if they fix the whole kind of loosey goosey aspect of their figure, but this definitely looks pretty cool. I'm not sure if it's worth $95, but obviously everybody seems to like the John Wick figure that nobody cared about paying $95 for. So
You know what? Mayfax has been the company that breaks.
that was the other rumor. And like I said, I haven't heard too much about it lately, but maybe they fix that issue. I'm not sure. We also see they're doing a Homecoming 1.5 version, so it's going to look exactly like all 10 of the other ones they've been doing. I'm going to go ahead and click on the Shazam figure here because I haven't seen this, obviously, and he looks like he's got jizz shooting out of his chest. I loved this movie. That does not look like Zachary Levi at all.
Are they giving us no expression? Really?
At least that one. Let's move down here and see if he does. Now, the problem that I feel they're going to have making these Shazam figures is in the movie, his chest is lit up the entire fucking time. So I'm not sure. I guess they're not even going to do that. Looks like they're just going to put yellow on there.
Right.
Hot Toys is what I was curious about if they were going to tackle the light up feature like that. So, but I absolutely loved this movie. It looks like you do get a little cheesy smile face, but again, it doesn't look like Zachary Levi. I think that's cloth though. That definitely looks like cloth. So
it looks like cloth.
Does. He definitely has a cloth cape. So, I mean, I want to like this figure, but I'm hating this head sculpt. It's obviously, whoa, look at these. Look at those eyes. That looks fucking terrible. I'm sorry.
I'll tell you one thing, bud. When it comes to, okay, this company, Mayfax and Mezco, are pretty much putting up the same shit. I'm almost guaranteeing Mezco is going to eventually have a Shazam.
Like, I mean, I hope so.
They already had original comic book Shazam, which is better than this, anyways. Yeah,
those look like 3 different people.
When it comes to Mayfix or Mezco, if I'm having to choose, it's gonna all day be Mezco.
Right.
I am sorry. These look like Marvel Legends the way they should look like.
True, but it's like this one's only $89 too. So
only.
This one's only $89. They don't want to charge you the extra $6 for this, apparently. But this looks like 3 different people. I don't know. Hopefully they can fix that. I doubt they're going to.
I'm not a fan.
Looks like they have a tiger striped Wolverine. Let's go on here. He's got an unmasked. Looks okay. Not too shabby. I like how he's got kind of metallic looking turquoise blue. That's definitely something that he kind of looked like he had in the comic books, but it's different because they would show like accents of the blue mixed with black a lot of times. So right. But he obviously has a few claws out, claws in. He's back to $95, and it looks like you only get I guess you get 3 heads with this one too. So Mayfix is killing it with the variety of heads. Yeah. So this figure, this still isn't out yet. Holy shit. This Bruce Wayne from Justice League, this movie is fucking old as shit now. So like this is
3 years old.
Yeah, they've been advertising this figure for so long now. Oh, and then this is another thing that Mayfix tries to do with your ass. So they're going to be like, we're going to give you this Batman head that you can put on your other Batman that you either did buy or didn't buy. It's like, fuck out of here. Like, don't be giving me fucking props for shit that I have to incorporate with another fucking figure. It's like, this ain't no Build-A-Figure, motherfucker.
And what's with the time frame? Like,
All over the
I thought,
place.
I
They just
thought,
came out with Ra's al Ghul, bro.
I thought movie-based action figures were like supposed to be out prior to the movie even.
They got fucking Dark Knight trilogy. Like,
Dark
look at
Knight.
this. They got fucking Bruce Wayne Dark Knight trilogy. Like, who the hell is that? That
I
ain't
think it's
fucking
from
Christian
American
Bale.
Psycho.
That definitely looks more like American Psycho, but so it looks like he's got some of the tactical gear. Now, the only other company that tackled this figure was Mattel. They did this in
Wait
a
a second.
two-pack, and everybody loves it because it has the balaclava, and it's like a rubber one, but it's pretty small.
So
You
is it the
can,
two-pack?
I honestly, I think that you get this figure, and then you get this
The
shit.
accessories for but then look at this one. Look at the next picture showing balaclavas and shit.
I don't know. I'm not sure. This is
Right.
very confusing here, and this is the only images, so
Well, we'll have to
you're
see from
all
that.
over you're all over the place. Uh-oh, they do have a Deadpool, I guess, coming out. Let's take a look at this. I
Very
do love
cartoony
me
looking.
I do love me some Deadpool, but this is very comic book based, which is cool, you know. I'm not hating on that aspect.
So
You have three
Mayfx is
different
like
eyes.
Mayfx is like right in between like what SH Figure Arts and like Figma.
A little bit. I think more like SH Figure Arts and Hasbro, honestly.
Right. Good call. Good
I
call.
mean, like you said, I guess this is maybe why Hasbro doesn't do that because they're like, oh, we're just going to be competing with them, but maybe they should compete with them because they're not an import company. This is an import company that's charging us 94 fucking dollars. Oh wait, nobody wants fucking Captain Phasma, so she's
And
$40.
the funny thing is too, you're seeing import companies give you like North American characters. Like we're
Absolutely.
giving you your own characters that are imported, which is odd to me almost.
Wow, they're already putting fucking Harry on fucking discount too. Nobody's buying those. I did hear now that's the one I heard. Project Piper, Ben from UK there, he got those figures, and I want to say he was a little underwhelmed.
And like we're seeing the prototype pictures, and if the prototype pictures don't wow you, the fucking production figure will not guaranteed.
I fucking hope not. Like, whoa, oh wait, that is Mayfix. I thought it was SH Figure Arts.
All right, so we're continuing on Big
Let's
Bad here.
Yeah, let's see. So Mazco finally
Oh,
actually did come out with their Ghostbusters set.
hmm
I've heard some quality control issues on those sets. A lot of people are satisfied, but I believe that some people are a little disappointed. The head sculpts they're okay. I don't think they're
they're Mezco.
Mezco has done some really good head though. They
Yeah,
give
but
all sorts of good head.
when I say that's Mezco, I'm saying they're the ones that'll give you a likeness, but it's Mezco's likeness.
Oh, for sure,
And that's the
yeah.
case with all the other characters too. So I can't even the Mike Myers and Jason and stuff like they're Mezco's versions. You
They
know?
are. They are. Um, so I mean, these still are cool. I believe for four figures with two head sculpts and Slimer and stuff, $300 is a pretty reasonable price. I'll be honest. Like, it's not
So
terrible. They could be charging you 400 since there's four figures and they do have a lot of accessories. Plus, you get Slimer. So,
the one thing I don't like about it, besides the price point, is the fact that it's the old Joker bucks.
yeah, these have been worked on for a long time. So
They're
yeah, I can
single
imagine.
jointed, and to be honest, the single jointed shit is more fragile.
Right, and you do know that they actually figures coming out. The ones that will be coming out have the skinnier but double jointed feature. So they are changing those bucks up a little bit. I gotta give it to them on that.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
well,
we'll be seeing some of those. I want to say they did it for this Blade figure, so he's got the little bit more of a,
right.
but he does have the double jointed on him. I didn't
Well,
get that figure. You got this set. How do you feel about it?
those are the same Joker bucks too, single
But these ones
joints.
are old though. These ones have been like
You're
they've
right.
been working on these for a long time. We got these pre-orders like 2 years ago.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, if you're as a company, if you're showing stuff that's not going to be out in a couple years, that's wrong in my opinion.
But why do these look dead on? These aren't Mezco's versions. This is exactly what Flyboy and fucking Plaid Shirt looked like.
I mean, I think you could even go look at the movie and have a different opinion because
Maybe.
they that's what Mezco does, and I think they're actually better for it because then you don't have us going like, look, the likeness is way off. They can just go,
Right.
look, it's a likeness that's near. That's what we're going for. It's kind of like a safety measure, I feel, on their part.
Right.
But I definitely am looking forward to everything
Oh, they
Mezco
don't
is putting out.
have. Oh, for sure. Well, what the hell? This is all they have from Mezco? There's like nothing to pre-order on here. Every motherfucking thing on here is in fucking stock. They're like, we got no. Where's Freddy? Freddy should be on here. I can't wait for that Freddy figure. But yeah, that is 100% my most excited
And
Mezco
dude,
figure is definitely that Freddy.
so now that okay, first of all, I'm kind of shying away from anything Marvel. So when it comes to Mezco, I'm mostly getting the DCs and the horrors. Mostly DCs and
Yeah, for
horror
sure. I
figures.
love horrors.
Dude, now that fucking Mezco is making horror figures, I'm not sure how much I need NECA anymore. I hate to say it.
I I definitely don't need NECA anymore. I don't hate to say it because it's fucking $20 to $30. I still do love their Mego figures to a degree, though. I still think those have some fun. I am excited about the Golden Girls. This pre-orders do have a Hellboy. I did have this on pre-order up until I saw the Hot Toys. This one does look pretty good though, because it looks like you can't really see a lot of the joints. I can see the one for the hand right there, obviously. The likeness is, it's Mezco. It's close. It does look like he's got an upper diaphragm joint right there, and it does look like he's got a very good range
Mm-hmm.
for his elbows so that he can probably touch his face.
And his dick.
I don't know if I got some extra money kicking around and this isn't sold out. I might pick this up, but we'll see. So
So
he
this is
does
on
not have
pre-order.
the BPRD. It's definitely on. You'll be. This says second quarter. Yeah, right. This shit's coming out like March of next year. So in the movie, he did have a horseshoe which he used in order to I don't want to spoil the movie for you, but go see the fucking thing already.
Right.
Two heads on it, two guns, bevy of hands, and obviously the stand, $80 price point. At least they stay consistent though
Dude,
and don't
look at
get all
this.
wishy-washy. It's like
This is less
the
than a
Iron Man
fucking
was more expensive.
Mayfix.
It is too, and I think Mezco's doing a better job than fucking Mayfix. It's more cloth. So, I recently did see that this 100 Boys is already getting fucking bootlegged. But I haven't heard anybody or seen anybody even buy this version of it. It looks super cool. Hellboy is getting a lot of love right now, but I'm not sure people are buying it.
Can I say one thing about this figure?
You can say 12 things about it.
So it's 1,000 Toys. They're an independent company. They're the ones responsible for the synthetic humans, which kind of took the toy community by storm. The synthetic
It
humans.
did.
So they're known for new engineering when it comes to action figure design, as far as the articulation goes. That Hellboy has crazy new style Phison technology, as well as instead of a disc for a shoulder, let's say, it's almost like a slide up mechanism.
Right.
So there's lots of cool technology going into the new 1,000 toys. I'm really looking forward to where they go next.
I agree. I hope they get some cool franchises.
Mm-hmm.
We will go ahead and shit all over some NECA right here if my computer ever stops being slow and shitty.
Yeah,
I
a little bit laggy here.
We're laggy with the Maggies. And then you keep getting fucking notifications over there acting like T-Mobile.
Yeah, because I'm telling her to make sure all the internet shit's off and
All the shit's off. So we are getting a crooked man from the Conjuring films. I believe this will be in their 7-inch scale line. He might be a little bigger because he's lanky. I saw The Conjuring, but I don't really remember this character.
I don't
Hat
give a
is
fuck about this
removable.
shit. What are you doing, NECA?
I don't know. Like, I'm not buying this.
This thing looks like it'll break looking at it.
It does. This looks like we're going back to the Nightmare Before Christmas line where you move Jack and he's got such thin fucking joints he's gonna snap.
Hmm.
I mean, cool. We're getting two different, or I guess it looks like, oh, they're doing the Mafex. They're doing 3 different head sculpts. Yippee
Oh,
dippy.
well, they fucking better. Look what they're giving us. Old
Nothing.
ass tech, shitty ass plastic that's gonna break. I'm sorry, whoever's watching this is gonna hear me shit on NECA.
Oh yeah, sorry guys, we're not the NECA podcast anymore. We used to be. I might pick this up though, because like I said, I do like the Migo line because at least they're giving us cloth. This is the Candyman figure from the famous movie. Um, Super interesting. He does have the exposed mouth open with the bees out of it. I believe there's a gimmick where you throw the exposed rib cage on there as well. I like the horror stuff. So even if I'm not going to shoot this too much, I really wouldn't be mad with this on my shelf. So I just hope that they're doing more with the articulation of these
Nope,
figures. I doubt they are.
guaranteed they're not.
All
So
right.
first of all, it's gonna look nothing fucking like this.
And this already doesn't even look like dead on either.
So that we know that Migo clothing is always way off and whack as fuck.
Tony Todd's like, that's my brother Billy Todd.
This jacket is not going to look anything like that. It's not going to fit the way it is, and I'm sick of NECA. You know why it's $32.99? Because it's shit, and they're giving you nothing.
Right.
They're literally tailoring half-assedly new outfits and a new head sculpt and fucking selling it to you.
Yeah, basically.
It's the same
That's the
bodies
only
it's
way.
been
I
for
mean,
12 years.
that's why they keep saying that was the only way to make money. It's like, well, you could give us cool shit and that everybody wants
You know
instead
what?
of
If the only way to make money is to fucking rape the toy community that built you, then I'm
right.
sorry, I'm gonna have to boycott you, and more people should be not buying this. Look at this shit. It's the same body as everything else all the time.
Yep.
Like look at those knees. It's the same fucking knees. Look at
Still
the
got the
diaper. It's the same
diaper.
diaper. It's ridiculous.
Yep. You go to kick his leg up and half the diaper's like coming off. He
You go
can't
to
touch his face because he's only
yeah,
got, you
yep.
know.
Hold that
I mean,
machete with two hands. You can't.
it's the product of our environment. We were excited when they gave us more articulation, and now we're not as excited because they don't seem to be. Well, they were doing that double jointed shit for a while. Where is that? They're
That
already not giving us the double jointed now?
no, it's because they're still using old bucks. They don't even want to retool, dude.
Sad.
It is sad. I've been boycotting NECA.
So,
I will be shooting my NECA shit I have still, but I'm not buying new shit from them.
right. So we are talking about this is the Freddy versus Jason Ultimate Jason Voorhees figure. This is probably my favorite look for Jason because
Hmm.
I do love that film so much, even though it wasn't Kane Hodder underneath the mask. It's not like you saw Kane Hodder's face, so I
Piece
don't
of
care about
shit.
that.
It's like 5 different Jason guys, anyways.
I know. But like I said, like it's gonna be everybody else. And the other problem with it is too, is like everybody's still buying these figures.
See,
So all the
that's an
people,
opportunity. You let them buy it, and then you don't.
I won't. I definitely won't.
I like it. I like it, and I don't. I don't like it because I feel NECA is genuinely like trying to capitalize off us. But at the
Yes.
same time, I can't necessarily knock people for liking them.
No, not at
You
all.
know, so it's tough.
If you're in a position that, you know, you got a family, you got kids. I don't have any of those. So I can go and spend $300 on some fucking action figure because I don't have to worry about that. I have 2 fucking cats. They're pretty cheap to fucking maintain and just get them litter and fucking feed them. No big deal.
Like, this is less than a Marvel Legends. Why? Because it's
Right.
garbage.
Right. I hear you. I hear you. So what is up with this one? Why is this 50 fucking dollars for this one?
It's the Migo.
Oh, why is the Migo $150 though? Like they've never charged 50 fucking bucks for
Well,
anything.
like you
Migo.
said earlier,
It's 8 inch.
like you said earlier, we're on Big Bad too, and Big Bad they can mark up how they feel, I believe.
But they want Tony Todd's only fucking 32. They want fucking 50 for this shit.
I
That's
almost guarantee
wild.
you it's because this had a lot more tailoring involved.
Well, that
If
jacket
it's
looked like it
more
was
from NECA,
intense.
yeah.
Anyway, get ready to get raped on that. I'm already, no offense to any of you guys. I'm happy that you're enjoying shooting this figure, but I am not happy that every day I go on Instagram, you guys are still shooting this figure. And then the new movie's gonna fucking come out, and you guys are still gonna be fucking shooting this figure.
And again, it's not the problem of the people shooting it, I feel. It's
It's
NECA
not.
giving us 19 of the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Just like Hasbro giving us the fucking same shit over and over and over again. These guys are fucking us, man. Stop buying the shit.
Well, and then you got they're gonna give us They Live fucking 2-pack. There's another company that's I think Mezco's doing this too. It's like, get the fuck out of here. I don't want just these guys. I want fucking Roddy Piper. Like,
Hmm.
give me the Roddy Piper. I don't want like if you gave me Roddy Piper and these like a 3-pack, I might be more interested. But just to have these guys in your fucking toy photos without Roddy Piper is fucking kind of stupid, to be honest.
And these
Like,
guys have no range. You can't even put them in like a zombie pose, for fuck's sakes.
well, these aren't zombies. These are regular fucking. These are the idea of this is that they're normal people, but you can only see them like this with the glasses on.
Oh.
But that's the problem. Like I said, you need the main characters. You can't just give us. It's almost like, I mean, no, because even if you gave us like zombie figures, it's cool to have like a zombie figure because you can incorporate it with like your other line of toys. These are in a universe that only existed for like one fucking film, and only one person could even see them because he was the only one that had the glasses. So
Fuck NECA and their bullshit.
it's hit or miss. I did
Dude.
order this because David Cronenberg is my favorite director of all time. Nobody's ever done a Decker figure, which is from the film Nightbreed. Again, this is their Mego line, so it does have cloth material. I may never shoot this up but once or twice, but I don't know. I like, also, they haven't really given us a suit in the Mego line. So I'm kind of curious to see if that will fit with other characters to do swaps and what
The
have
whole Ron
you.
Burgundy line, the whole Anchorman line, but that's not
I
NECA.
Exactly. And you know what? You can't swap the heads with those. So you can't
Uh,
take the Ron Burgundy, and you can swap the clothes, obviously, but yeah, you can't swap the heads off that. But this does look pretty good. But like Eric said, I'm probably going to get it in my hand and then
Trust
hate
me, my whole issues are with the. I know underneath that is the same old fucking Mego NECA shit that's gonna break. I'm sorry. Dude, I had my Interstellar figures. I had Interstellar, which were the Mego style from NECA.
Oh, I know.
I fucking bend her elbow, and the arm comes off in the suit and shit. I'm like, man, fuck this shit.
Right.
So,
Spoiler alert, Tony Stark. Oh, this shit is already sold. Wow. Instant sellout. This just pre-ordered, which is the Tony Stark in the team suit, aka Time Bandits or Time Heisters. In the suit from the Endgame. This is $234 and it's gone. You cannot get this figure. Apparently, you're not going to get this figure until fucking March of next year either. But
I wonder
I
why
like
it's
how they're
sold
like,
out. Like, are they only. Because if it's not produced yet, how is it selling out?
that's what I'm saying. How do you already know? Like, that's all. That's it. Like, we're
Unless it's
how
just because
come?
of Big Bad selling out on Big Bad.
But you rarely see sellouts on Big Bad because they're such a big conglomerate. They're
Right.
allowed to get more product than your average Joe. So if they're selling out, that literally means that 90% of 1/6 scale collectors in general just fucking were like blah, 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 blah,
I
blah.
wonder if they're gonna fucking do the right thing and put the whole team out so you can spend a couple
I
$1,000
mean,
on them.
that's all you need is all the, and that's what I'm saying. What are you gonna do? Just get like Tony Stark and Captain America and then fuck the rest of the team? Or, I mean, technically you could head swap at that point. So if you got, but you still need more bucks, you know?
Well, you're also talking about if you're trying to do some photography, because Hot Toys understands that the collecting community is very split. You definitely have the guys who collect and show off on the internet, and but you have the guys that collect and put in their detail and don't touch it again. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
that's what 1/6, and that's me and Eric were recently having a conversation about this, and I phrased it wrong where I was trying to tell him that there's more people buying 1/12 than 1/6, which is incorrect. It's just that a lot of the 1/6 people are satisfied with just putting their detofs and then walking away and
I
never
mean,
taking
and
it anymore.
you even see it with the 1/4 scale statues. Let's say the premium statues. You never see them online besides when they're being sold, and the people that have them, they just have them. You don't see them. You know what I mean? So,
Absolutely.
but yeah. So, are we still on Big Bad here? Or are we getting off Big Bad?
I mean, we can. We're just starting to get into. I don't think we saw much. Is SH Figure Arts not really doing anything? I
It's up
imagine
to
they're
you.
doing all of the everything to do with Endgame. So maybe we'll save that for next week.
It's up to
Can't
you. I
like
mean, we went through quite a bit of new releases coming out already.
we do have some of these as well. So I don't
And
know too much
yes.
about this, but this looks pretty awesome.
So Warhammer 40K is a like almost like a I want to say Dungeons and Dragons style tabletop game where you have your small characters, your little collectibles in a board game, and you're rolling dice and using measuring tapes and stuff to do the moves. This is a picture of what looks like one I want to say 1/12 scale. And when you're talking with these characters, these are like they're like 10 feet tall characters, so 1/12 scale is still going to be like 7, 8 inches tall.
Right.
And it's showing this mock up here beside an actual Warhammer tabletop game figurine piece. And you can see the scale of it. They're like one 1/35th or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're now finally getting well, they had made statues in the past, but we're now finally getting action figures. Warhammer action figures, dude, is something to be very excited about.
I did see a lot of people getting very excited about this online.
Very cool to see new shit coming
Hard
out,
to see
especially from an
what
import company.
hard to see what's movable on this and how the
Again,
paint's going
yeah,
to turn out, but
it looks like we're just looking at some of the 3D print or 3D sculpted renderings here,
yes.
but we can hope for full articulation. It is coming from Bandai.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
definitely looking
Ready to
forward to
talk about
Warhammer shit.
that. This is one that I didn't see on the pre-orders. This is the 2009 remake, and recently they posted this because they wanted to show you they have these new tabs. And when they posted this, I did read the comments, and nearly every single person is pissed off about these because it's going to be tougher to fit these in the boxes because the flaps will be, kind of
Band.
exposed. You're going to have to get a bigger box to incorporate those. They're going to bend. They
Yep.
think that these are going to be better to hang. I guess there's still a lot of you out there that buy these and just hang them on the walls still. So,
All the NECA
uh,
collectors do because can't open them or else they'll break.
great point. Great point. I believe Eric is still invested in the Mythic Legions line. I've still not purchased any one of these. I'm glad to see that the company is still striving. I do see people do dope photos of them, so I enjoy that aspect.
So, people who are watching, I guarantee you know who Mythic Legions are. They are the Four Horsemen Studios, presenting their own action figure line, free of any other property. We are looking at, and dude,
Licensing.
they're it's called the Wasteland Wave, but like this is like their fifth or sixth wave now. They've actually been coming out with wave after wave after wave for quite some time now. And in this wave, we're finally starting to see some like part swapping and color mismatching and whatnot to bring you new looking characters.
So they're necking it.
And you know what? They're every toy company it. Every
Yeah,
toy company
exactly.
has their standard bucks and this, that, the other that they'll cross over and switch. I mean, they even were doing that way back in the day with the Motu line, right?
Oh, absolutely.
All the He-Man shared the
Oh,
same
He-Man
buck.
only had like $1.
And that's where this company is actually going with the same idea. They have a handful of more bucks, obviously, than Mattel did way back in the day, but they're going on the same lines. And even some of these are even Motu inspired. So it's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mythic
And they'll
Legions,
go with your Motu as well. So,
they definitely go with your your classics line. Not so much a new filmation,
hmm
but these are coming out and they're like roughly 30 American a piece when they come out, but they're instantly hitting the secondary market at double the cost. So they're really good,
yeah,
successful new
absolutely.
action figure line that
You
this.
don't if you don't pre-order these, yeah, if you don't pre-order these, you're fucked. Pre-order your toys, suckers.
The cheapest you're gonna get Mythic Legions is at its release.
Right.
Right.
So we do see that reaction figures, which is not Super 7. The reaction line is still what it is. And
Whoa.
Super 7, I believe, has their own.
This should be
Wait,
Super
you
7
sent
still.
me this.
This should still be Super
Oh,
7.
these ones. Which one is the? Because I want to say like the original company that did these still does theirs though too.
Funko.
So they're just Funko now. Oh, you're right. You're right.
Well,
They are. I have a couple. I did get a couple of them. You're right. It is just like that. I don't know what. I can't remember what they call them though. They're like they
I'll
had to
tell you
change
one
the
thing.
name.
Like these right here are Funko, but the same figures coming out from the same line and shit has been sold to Super 7 down the line.
Right.
So you have a situation where you almost have two companies doing the same thing,
Right.
which is really weird. But yes, you're right. These were used to be Funko Reaction. They're now in the hands of Super 7 Reaction. And this Slayer shit is actually dope, dude.
It's super dope. I mean, but these again too. I don't want to open these. Like these just look super dope in the package.
A
Like
lot
I
of
hang these on the wall.
yes, these are retro style 3 3/4 inch figures, and a lot of
5
them
points.
they have the card art appeal.
Absolutely. And this
So,
card art looks fucking super dope. So,
but you know me, I
Slayer
gotta open that
figures,
shit.
super dope.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. So, there is a lot of controversy going on. Obviously, you guys know the Super 7 owns the Motu, which is the He Man line. They have recently shown images of the Snake Mountain, which I believe is almost $800 depending on where you're getting it from because they're charging you around $150 to ship this massive. But look at it, dude. Like that shit is insanely fucking big. You have two of the almost 7-inch scale figures
Mm-hmm.
on opposite sides, and there's still tons of room around there. Now, put yourself in a position of I realize this is a very, very high price. But
Mm-hmm.
if you, let's say they sold this to you for $300 and it had every single piece in there was rendered like they did back in the day, where it was the same color, no dry brushing, no
Right.
paint. If
Just
you
plastic.
sent this to somebody to have them paint it, they're going to charge you $300 to $400 to paint it. So I do get if this product comes out looking just like this, you'll be fine. But if it doesn't, expect riots in the internet streets.
Okay,
Because
and
Eric doesn't think it's going to come out looking this good.
well, we know we're dealing with Super 7. And if you've been following Super 7 at all, they have been getting a lot of backlash from the Masters of the Universe community when it comes to the QC of their characters. Because they took this from Mattel, right? Super 7. And I don't know what Super 7 is doing, but they took the lines from Funko, they're taking lines from
They're
Mattel
just
and doing it
buying everything
themselves.
up.
So we know that Super 7 has had issues with the Mattel style figures that they're putting out, which instantly makes me think that this is going to have some issues too. Absolutely.
Well,
We're
yeah, because
looking at, yeah.
they're charging 50 to 60 bucks for their standard figures that Mattel was charging like 35 in their clubs for.
And here's the thing too. With this Snake Mountain, first of all, this image we're seeing is opened. It folds in half. That face goes to the back.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an opened picture, first of all.
Correct. Correct.
Second of all, I think all the money that because this is going to generate a lot of money saying it goes forward, but I think a lot of it is just the tooling and shit. Like, I don't think the paint job is going to be nearly as good as we're seeing here. I think a lot of the cost is going into that tooling, and just the amount of resin that's being used or plastic.
Mm-hmm.
So tooling for something this big, like picture the tool. You know what fucking action figure molds look like. They're steel little
Oh yeah.
things. Picture fucking moldings for this thing. That's gonna be
Insane.
huge. They're gonna have to
Yes.
refigure their fucking factories to incorporate this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Reconfigure, sorry. So I'm seeing a lot of things happen, and me and my girl actually worked out that if I was to get this, with the exchange rate, with the indeterminate shipping cost,
Oh my God.
with the fucking all that included, I'm looking at like over $1,200.
Yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
this
And
is
then you don't have a
not on the table.
guarantee. You have no guarantee that this could come to you too, because if it gets lost in the mail, you're just
Ooh,
fucked.
can you imagine? Apparently, and I heard for this from another podcast, the My Wife's Gonna Kill Me podcast. They're saying that Super Seven's treating this like shipping furniture. So like they might even crate it.
Oh yeah.
If they crate this, that's gonna add to the weight of the
Hmm.
pack. It's gonna man, shipping's gonna be ridiculous on this thing.
Oh yeah, it's already 150 bucks for us Americans, so
That's shipping within the US.
ridiculous. I'm actually really, oh yeah, within the US too.
Hmm.
I'm actually really surprised that this is the very first Big Bang Theory 1/6 figure that I have ever seen. I
Hmm.
don't think they have made anything else. I've never heard of BBK figures before. This is say Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. I mean, I like that you don't really get these kind of characters with this kind of clothing. So I do think this could be interesting in your collection because he's a comic book fan. He obviously has a Green Lantern shirt. He has the Flash shirt. So obviously it's a third party company, so they don't have to pay the DC and the likeness rights of this. You do get two head sculpts with it. I think the smiling face one is nailed. This one, not so much. Be wire, I feel like, but still fun figure around $135, 1/6 scale. Very interesting. I like how it shows you everything here, but it doesn't show the jacket. So I'm kind of confused if you get the jacket or not. I'm not sure.
That bottom, that
This is another
face.
company that cheese face. I'm all about that shit's gonna be hilarious to use for memes. Another company that has recently been starting to kick a bunch of ass. I picked up their Confier, aka they called it the Paranormal Detective. This is So Toys 1/6 scale, the Dark Speedster. I believe he has a feature for the eyes. If you like shine a blue light, it'll reflect on it. What are you doing over there? You're freaking out? You don't like this shit?
I don't like that we're fucking like super laggy.
Oh, we're lagging.
Well, yeah.
We can't do anything. You're in Canada. It's all your import taxes of your internet. But yeah, super cool
What?
figure. You
It's
get
you're on
two.
Big Bad? Don't
Yeah,
talk shit about
exactly.
Canada.
No, I'm off the internet now, so we're just going off of, well, I'm going off Dropbox now. So, but this figure definitely looks super cool. They don't give you a ton of accessories, but the price point is usually very low for these. Like these are 115 bucks to 120 bucks, depending on where you pre-order it from. So very cool company. I definitely stand behind them. I contacted them because my Constantine figure didn't come with cigarettes. So apparently they told me they were going to ship me them. So I'll keep you guys informed if that ever arrives.
Nice.
Another company that we are kind of interested about, this figure is actually released. This is the Great Twin 112 scale. I'm not sure what the bodies of these are underneath. I don't know if they're Phison at all or if they're more like a Mezco, but this is a very expensive 112 scale figure for the T800 Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator. He comes with a bevy of accessories. Like I said, this figure is out, but they have posted that they have the cop version from T2. So this is a T100 figure. Not the greatest likeness to Robert Patrick, but if you're somebody who's in the Mezco field and you want a cop, this could be really fucking cool. Obviously, at $100, it's going to be a little difficult to army build, but I want to say he has the, as you can see, blade arm. He has the blade finger, and I want to say he has the a feature where you can put like bullets with the I almost said adamantium, with the liquid metal, and then he has a face where it looks like he's shot up as well. So
Nice.
I'm very interested to see where this Great Twin company is going. I'm not sure if they're paying likeness rights for
Hmm.
these. I'm
So I
not
was
sure if
wondering.
they're a third party company at all, but this could be fun, like I said, to get a 112 scale cop into your Spider-Man photos or your, I don't know, whatever you do with your 112 shit, like
Here's the
cloth.
thing too, though. I wonder if they're actually getting away from the likeness rights and being able to save some money that on that just
That's
by
what you
having
do.
it look kind of like them. Like, is that
Right.
what Mezco's doing?
No, Mezco is actually paying likeness rights because they have to use the name of the character. So that's why, like I said, you have the Dark Speedster. That's obviously not his name.
Ah, good call.
The paranormal detective, his real name is Constantine. Like, so there's another company out there called
That's
Toys Era, which recently made a cable 1/6 figure. They called it the Mechanical. So these companies are able to give you a much cheaper version of what you want because they're not paying Marvel. And I'm not sure how they get around about that. I
it's the
don't know anything.
names. You see the same thing in our casting sites on the web too. Like they're just Iron Man is Metal Man and shit like that.
Like, yeah, exactly. Metal dude.
It's fine. That's great. I
So
encourage that
another
shit.
another company that's kind of popped out of nowhere, they call themselves Facepool. They are basically making 1/6 scale people that don't exist, and they have expressions and they have different looks to them. I think they're mostly intending you to use these for your army, like, or your military style figures. Not me. I purchased these two figures you will see all the way to the left, the scared and the screaming.
Hmm.
For $28, these are fucking
Wow.
phenomenal heads. Like I said, the best part is these aren't anybody. This isn't Tony Stark. This isn't Wolverine. Like, you
Yeah.
can use these people to integrate into your, fold basically. But then again, that's if you're doing what we do. If you're doing action figure photography, you want people to have more expressions. They do have a couple females in their line as well. So if you guys want, they do have an Instagram that's Facepool, no underscore or anything like that. Super cool, great price if you guys are looking for more expressions.
That
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that looks like a super necessary thing because the one thing I noticed with a lot of the 1/6 stuff, like Hot Toys and whatnot, they lack expression. Like
They do.
even
And
if you
that's the
could
biggest
possibly,
struggle.
if you even if you could possibly use these for known characters,
You
that'd
couldn't.
benefit you too.
Right, because like I said, I'm using this as my Jesse for Friday, or I'm sorry, Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Very
I think
nice.
he looks very similar to Jesse, who has that scream that you love so much,
Yeah.
Eric. Screams like a girl. And this kind of looks like a almost like a meld between Dennis Quaid and Michael Fassbender. So I just like it. I like that they're providing different things for
Yeah.
us collectors out there.
Yeah, I
So
can't believe we don't
Bullet
see
Head,
it more often.
so Bullet Head is a company that usually does 1/6 scale, very detailed, good stuff. They recently came out with their third party version of Venom. They call it Poison. He has like the Phison, like you can't see any of the joints on there. It's a 14-inch figure. So of
Oh,
course we have V Mask instead of V for Vendetta. This is a 100% all cloth figure, which has rooted hair. He has, I believe, one head sculpt. The hat comes off, though. He's got all of his blades and everything is cloth. This figure looks awesome as fuck. Again, I have not seen anything 112 from this company. So me and Eric talk a lot about what 112 scale really means to us. And it's all over the place. You got NECA that says they're 112 when they have a 7.5-inch figure. You have Mafex, which is a 6-inch scale figure. They call theirs 112. So I'm guessing this is going to be more in the Mezco or anybody else that's been doing the cloth 112 scale figures. Looks like he obviously has some double joint action, which is really cool. So, what do you feel about this, Eric?
I think that these clothed 112 figures are going to be more along the lines of the Vortex line with like
That's what I was trying to
almost
think of.
almost like a 3A body for the 112. So I think that actually is something that import companies are able to use. Like there might be a pool where a bunch of different companies can use the same style bodies.
Right.
Because I
Like
don't know.
112, like 1/6 scale does. I mean, it's weird.
Yes,
Like,
but between companies even, because like you'll pull
right,
apart a Vortex toy and it is a 3A body.
right.
So it's almost like there's shared engineering going on with a lot of these. And unfortunately, they sometimes come up a bit short of 112, being
Right.
6-inch.
Right.
Because like even Black Series, Hasbro Black Series, Star Wars shit, they're advertised as 112 and they're like 5-inch, dude.
Yeah.
That's not
That's
6-inch, that's 5. It's
not
116.
112 scale.
That's right.
It's around it's 112-ish. I want to see a company go, we're 112-ish. We border on the line of 1-ish, 12-ish
You see a
bits.
lot of that in the 1/18 scale world now, actually.
Oh
It's like,
yeah.
it's 4-inch-ish.
Ish.
It's fucked up.
So this is another figure I don't know anything about except for the images that they posted. They're calling this Fat Man by One Toys. This is so recently a company called World Box has released what they call the plump figure. Me and Barrow have recently bought this figure. We love it. It's a fat body with fat arms and fat legs. The only problem with these figures is there really isn't any company making clothes. So this is very fun. You have what it looks like one, two, three, maybe four. No, I think only three different head sculpts that are a fat Spider-Man.
Maybe
He's wearing
eyes.
jeans, boots, and then, yeah, maybe the eyes only change. I'm not sure how that exactly works. He does not come with this burger. I don't know why the burger is in the
For
image.
scale.
Me and Beryl were going on and on about this burger. If he's like, does that burger come? I'm like, that's some seriously real
No,
looking
because
burger.
because that's the size of a normal burger, and that's the size of the
Exactly.
figure beside a burger.
Right. It's great.
But
I think this is going to be Deadpool's new best friend. They're going to hang out. This guy's going to Comic-Con for sure. I think this is going to be a very, very fun figure. And I think a lot of people would want this in 112 scale. Would you buy this in any format, Eric?
I would because it's Peter Parker's friend that tries on his mask.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Absolutely. That's what this is.
But like, there's no, I guess there's no copyrights around the Spider-Man
No.
likeness.
No, I mean you can use the Spider-Man head. You're calling him Fat Man. There's no
That's
Fat
funny.
Man.
That's funny.
So I believe Barrel's also picking this up. I pre-ordered this. This was like $89 on a pre-order site.
Not
So I'm
bad.
like, that's almost what you're paying for a fuck. That is what you're
A
paying for a
Mezco.
Mezco.
Yep.
So
Yep.
for a 1/6 figure.
I'm
And
excited to
I
see what you look that looks like in hand.
absolutely, and I will definitely update you guys when that comes in. So this is another company that I don't know a lot about. These are 112 scale. It says like Phantom Legend Limited. I don't know, but these look super fucking rad. I believe these are, what are these characters? This is that video game, right?
They're from Metal Gear Solid.
Yes.
This is from the Phantom Pain. This is Snake. Again, it looks really awesome. This is 1/12 cloth goods. I is there more like I almost can't keep track of this now. Like we're being bombarded with a lot of good shit lately, and
Yes.
a lot of them are imports, and they're kind of like no-name companies. So
Yeah.
it's hard to keep track.
It is really hard to keep track. So I think these look fucking super stellar though. So
Hmm.
anybody that already likes snake figures or army-ish dudes are gonna love this. This is an
Yes.
$82 price point or a $98 for the deluxe version. So they do definitely seem to be, as we're going to show you here, this is a company called Co-Model, which does a lot of 1/6, mostly like samurai figures and then a couple of these knights. I think this shit would go fantastic with your Mythic Legions, or if you wanted to do anything that had to do with knights, because these are a bunch of different 112 scale knight figures. I want to say they're going to be doing 112 samurai figures as well. Co-Model is a very stand-up company.
And these are the Palm Empire stuff, and the samurais are in guys' hands as we speak.
Oh yeah, yeah. The
Yeah.
samurais are starting to get released. I don't think these are available yet. I want to say a couple of these actually have head sculpts that have screaming heads as well. So the options that you have for these figures are just mind-blowing. So
We,
Co-Model is a company that you can stand behind. These should be pretty amazing.
yeah, I hope so, because they're like 120 bucks.
Yeah, these are not cheap for 112. 112 scale is almost turning into the new fucking hot toys. So
Hmm.
this company has been doing a lot of pre-orders. I don't think a lot of their stuff has come out yet. They call themselves Woo exclamation point toys. I currently have their Stan Lee on pre-order right now, but this is another one. This is literally just the arms. So if you have to pretty much have the Doctor Strange 1/6 scale figure, or I mean, I guess you could put this on anybody. I don't, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
So it's
They
like a
really,
backpack?
I'm not really sure because they didn't show any images of how it's
Hmm.
attached to the back, or it didn't even say if the arms move. There's two different versions. One has the green Eye of Agamotto spells, and then there's one with the gold spells on it. But about $100 price point for these. Very cool if you already have the Doctor Strange. I'm very excited for my Stan Lee. I can't wait to get that thing.
Like, that's so like that should have came with the figure, man.
I mean, tactically, they should have had a deluxe version that came
Right?
out with that. But you can't blame this company for coming along and saying, "Give us your $100."
No, you can't. It's you're almost getting into. I don't want to. you're almost getting to the C Jessam aspect where you have companies creating accessories for existing figures,
Right, right.
which is a cool thing, actually, man.
Very cool.
Definitely.
So I guess we'll go ahead and get into our week portion, which is hopefully not weak, it's hype.
So that is it for the news. Yeah, we're gonna go into a week in collecting. Anything that you've been, working on as far as customs, if you've been shooting anything, if you've been ripped off lately, anything that your week entailed. What you've been doing this week, bud?
Well, let me get to well, my gut to oh, my computer is definitely having a bad time with this. I have been working on an extreme heavy amount of shit lately.
You're doing a lot of
Hopefully
1/6 customizing, I see on your page there.
everything, everything is 1/6 in my world, big baby.
So have you been
Um,
selling off other parts of your collection, or are you just storing them away?
Now that's the whole fucking problem is I haven't really gotten rid of too much. I finished a few customs for the 112 scale that I just was like, I don't need this. One was a Marty McFly. I sold that. But I'm in the process of trying to figure out exactly where I want to go.
Okay.
But as you guys can see here, I'm going to show you some images. These are the face pool figures that I showed you guys previously. It's, I guess, trying to load it, but these are some customizations that I've done. Oh, it was going to load it and then it went away. So these are just some clothes that I put on the figures to give you guys an idea of what they look like. Like I said, these are the face pools. These are
Nice.
easy. These are pretty easy customs, just slapping heads on bodies and putting clothes on them. This is really more of my passion right now. I like 80s, 90s movies. So the biggest goal for me is that I want
Victims.
to have options for punkers so they
Yes.
can beat up on. These were the first two that I made. The one on the left is actually a Buffy the Vampire Slayer Spike figure that I actually added that rooted hair to him. I painted him. I added a jacket onto him. I weathered him up as best as I could. To the right here, this is mostly the Sideshow collectibles. It's called Sideshow of the Dead. Everything on here is the Sideshow of the Dead. I painted the arms. And then I want to say this is a Travis Bickle from the Taxi movie,
Mm.
customized, added hair onto it, dyed the hair, painted the face up, made him look a little bit more like a wild punker. If you guys look on my camera right now, I have another image, but this is the current one that I'm working on right now. My buddy Photons recently sold me this whole body, pretty much, except for the shirt that I added, is the I want to say they call it Wasteland Ranger, which is the Tom Hardy figure from the Mad Max 2012, 2013 film. Very hard to get from Virtual Toys. It was an instant sellout because, as you can see, the head sculpt is probably the best Tom Hardy head sculpt that they make. But he gave me this Jesse head, so I added some hair on him. I painted him up to make him look a little bit more war torn. So that's something that I'm obsessed with making these punks. I got another one that I'm very close to finishing. I'm not ready to show you guys yet. Let's move on with some of these photos.
So I got a question for you. What kind of painting techniques are you running into different kind of problems with customizing the 112 or 1/6?
Less problems,
Okay.
far less problems. You have more detail in them, plus you have more availability. And I always struggled with 112 scale eye painting since it's insanely small. I have
Yes.
recently developed a much more workable format of doing 1/6 eye painting. So I've been having a lot of fun and struggle finding myself in the middle of that. So here's
No, that's
another
good.
image of him. Very, very happy with that project. I did recently have to paint these 1/12 scale heads, which were a pain in the ass for barrel. So you have Putin and you have our president right here. So just a little image. I had a lot more fun with the Putin than I did with the Trump. He had a little bit more texture to him. I hate how smooth, some of those 1/12 heads are. Now these were cast too, so they were pretty halfway decent. This is my repaint on the Tom Hardy. My goal was I wanted to use this for my upcoming Venom figure that's going to be released from Toys Era, called the Parasitic, because obviously they can't call it Venom.
I love that shit, dude. Fuck the man.
So I recently, because I've been customizing, making Cheech and Chong figures, I have a bevy of these. This is the zombie Ash from the Mego line. My goal is to make him look like a horny old man for when the Golden Girls come in. 'Cause they got like he's gonna get his dick sucked or some shit like that. We'll figure that down the line. So I've been working on that. Now here is a photo of the photo that I took for my Hellraiser set. It will get to images. You can see here I made this diorama. Basically what I did was I glued 2 sushi roller packs together. I removed the connecting pieces in the middle of it, but kept the outside pieces so it still held together. Then from there, I took scrap. They sell these packs. They're packs, and they have patterns in there like wallpaper, and they're roughly 9 inches a piece. So I glued 2 pieces on top of the sushi rollers, and then I cut around it to expose the holes, just like they did in the very first film of Hellraiser. So this was a little bit bigger of a project for me. I took a TV tray and held it over it so that it would actually hold the chains. The biggest problem I had is I was like, fuck, how am I going to do
genius.
the chains? So I did a TV tray and I removed the bar that would have been right there. And I actually have a bruised knuckle because I thought I could punch it, and I had to get a hammer. I had to Mjolnir that shit. But yeah, I've been having a fucking crazy time with the 1/6 scale shit. I will show you. This is another purchase I recently got. So this is a very rare figure. So it's Sideshow of the Dead, Santa Claus. He kind of looks like Shaun from Shaun of the Dead, I feel like, but very, very detailed, bloody, disgusting Santa Claus. Can't wait to do some fucking horror Christmas with that. Not a lot of people. I haven't really seen anybody doing any of this figure. So this is the 1/12 scale. He has no exposable joints except for the arms. He has a cloth shirt that he came with, which is just a tank top. And then these jeans. These jeans are very good. The belt buckle kind of pops open. This is the worst set of dog tags I have ever seen on any figure in my life. The dog tags are terrible. The head sculpt is good. He does work with Marvel Legends heads, so you can SH Figuarts 2 will work a little bit better because he is a little bit small. I did get 2 of. Hold on. Sorry, technical difficulties. I did pick up 2 of these figures, which are actually made by Phison. These are 100% naked, sexy ladies. I don't know. Did you ever see these, Eric? Were you interested in these?
I did actually, and I noticed that they were really small right away, and I didn't really pay much more attention to them after that.
These are definitely 1/6-ish figures. So, what's that?
This fucking internet sucks balls. I don't know what's going on here. No.
The internet balls. And it's only the two of us. We used to have so many other people on here lagging it up, and apparently it was just us. So
I
we're
don't
the ones
understand. I
lagging.
got the fucking fastest internet in the world. You must suck balls over there.
I must suck all the balls over here. So sorry, I'm sucking all the balls and I'm smacking titties at the same time. My parents found this for me today, some gigantic 112-ish house. So I will be updating you guys. I'm gonna start painting it up, doing some crazy things to it. Um, I'm very into the movie Mandy with Nicolas Cage. I will be doing a red custom of him. I did receive the best Dexter head sculpt. I'm trying to finish a 1/6 scale Dexter as well. Lots more things in the works, but I kind of want to keep the show onto things that I can show you guys more. I don't want to get to the point of being like, I'm doing this and this and this and this and this. We'll wait. I want to have more stuff for you guys to talk about. I feel like I've been hogging it up. Eric, what's going on with you?
What's up, man? What's up? You know what? Not much. Not much. I'm just still continuing on my, photography game for the most part. I'll hit up some customs once in a while. Um, One thing I wanted to talk about was I had some images sent to you, but you don't have the
I
Phantom
got him.
Star Killer. Um, it was something that, because I'm big into the indie stuff right now. I have been for like about a year or
This guy
so
you talking
now.
about? You talking about
That's
this
the
guy?
Phantom Star Killer. He's based off of what is now a Super 7 figure from Killer Bootlegs. The funny part is Killer Bootlegs started out, I believe, um, just an action figure independent creator as far as he's the guy that makes the Curb Your Enthusiasm figure. He's the guy that makes all the funny figures, I believe. And what happened here is he actually got picked up by Funko and Super 7 to make his own, which was like pretty much a bootleg Star Wars style of character into the mainstream.
Right.
So you're seeing images here, the reaction, 3 3/4 inch Phantom Star Killer, which I based my custom. I used a Black Series buck on this. It pretty much had the breather system on it already. I gave it a paint job. I swapped heads, gave it a hood from Green Goblin, I believe. Cut out a cheap fabric coat, which goes really well with what the release had. It was like it's just a piece of vinyl.
Is that like almost like just like a high quality paper towel? I mean, it looks
It
good though. I'm not hating
it's
on it.
it's a cheap cloth. It actually came. It was lining like a storage box, like a
Yeah, yeah,
storage
yeah.
container.
Yep, yep.
So yeah, it was actually one of my
It
newer
looks super
customs.
dope, man.
It's funny because it's a custom based off of a bootleg
Right,
based
right,
off of a Star Wars. It's
right,
just
right.
it's so many layers of hilariousness in this. But I saw that people were customizing and the creator was loving it, so I was like, you know what? I'll customize one and
Did
see
he?
what you
He
think.
actually he saw this.
It got reposted, so I think he enjoyed it. Really fun
Nice.
project. That's actually the Sleepy Hollow head, dude.
Is it?
That's the Sleepy Hollow cut off head. And I thought it went fucking like perfectly for this custom.
I'd rather have yours than that one. I'll be honest. I
And that's the
mean,
thing too. This is a reaction style figure. We're talking, 5 points of articulation, nothing really special. But apparently he's trying to go for bigger scale in
all
this character.
right.
So, yeah, that was my newest custom figure that I did. I believe I did that last week. So that was pretty fun. And here we're seeing a picture that I did the other day of this is the new filmation style He-Man and Skeletor from Super 7. We know they got the line from Mattel. The, Here's a weird thing too. So Super 7 got the license for Motu from Mattel, but they also are using the same bucks and engineering.
Yeah, yeah, they are.
So I'm not sure as to what Super 7 and Mattel's relationship actually is. If they're kind of getting it in between Mattel's projects or not. Because I believe Mattel is actually going to be getting this back, Superman, He-Man back, because there's a He-Man movie announced.
Oh yeah, I know.
So we got a really weird situation where we got Super 7 developing Mattel-style bucks on He-Man, and I've been loving them, to be honest. There's been a lot of hate actually out there
Is
towards
that
what.
the
Yeah.
hiya he hiya ho? Is that the head?
I seen someone wrote that, and I don't know what that is from. This is just laughing He-Man.
Oh no, that you haven't seen that that video somebody did. So somebody took a bevy of clips and synced it up so he was like singing that song.
No,
It's
I haven't seen
amazing.
that.
It's really, really well done.
I believe it. But dude, this is really cool, and I'm even holding him up here. This is an example of Super 7 giving us Mattel style bucks, revamping the He-Man line, but also giving us like ultimate versions. So this He-Man, as well as this Skeletor, came with like three heads apiece. Or actually,
That's
this
dope.
He-Man came with like three heads. The Skeletor came with a this head and a laughing head, like at the beginning of the Motu Classics cartoon, he would be like, he'd
Yeah.
laugh, right? So really, really odd things happening now within the Motu line and Super Seven, but really cool at the same time.
But
So
then there's this Mondo one. Can you see this on my phone here? They got this Mondo one
the
six coming out.
yes,
This is gonna be the bee's fucking knees of He-Man
so the
figures.
Mondo is they're coming out with 1/6 He-Man and Skeletor.
It's even got the crazy face too.
I believe it comes with like the is it the retro style face?
It has both. It has the
Yes.
newer and plus the crinkle face.
Yes. The cool thing about so even the new Super 7 retro style like even like this figure, Jared, how it's
Yeah.
the 5 point is based on the Motu shit. So they're coming out with more He-Man stuff. And Four Horsemen actually for the vintage style head of He-Man actually had a guy sculpt it in the old school way with wax and tools. Because right
Damn.
now there a lot of the companies are going full digital sculpting, right? So it's a really cool throwback to the way things used to be done in the new Super 7 figure coming out. But yeah, that's what this is. I'm really getting into those things. I don't know why. They almost have an indie feel to them. I think that's why.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And here again, I want to talk more about the Super 7 retro style figs. These are the Thundercats that they came out with. These have been out for a few months. I've actually recently only been able to get a hold of them as a full line. I got the Lino only like not too long ago. But again, example of this is a big company, and in my opinion, doing a genius thing by revamping these 5.5 figures.
Right.
So many of the collectors, A, are our age, which is like
Yep.
30, 35, 40. B, being that age, you came from the era of the 80s when the He-Man and Motu shit was coming out in these bucks.
Yeah.
You're hitting all kinds of nostalgic points for us collectors to just fucking drool over, and I'm I'm really going in on the Super 7 line, man. I really am. The articulation obviously is 6 points.
Right. You know what to expect.
But
They're
dude,
6-inch scale.
there's almost a bit of there's almost a bit of relief and ease with a simpler figure. Like when I look at this figure, I don't go, "Oh my God, what the hell am I gonna do?" Like there's so much articulation, I could do anything. It's almost like having a menu at a restaurant with only a few nice items on it.
Right.
You're not going, "Oh my God, what do I want? I have no idea." So you kind of just get them in nice settings, which is something that I've always been into. I've never really
You're
cared.
definitely more the display, which I like that though.
I've definitely never really cared about articulation because, in my opinion, it's always about the environment.
Right.
Because you can have an amazing pose and what? It's on a kitchen table. I don't give a
Right,
shit.
right.
Looks like garbage.
Hey, you started on the kitchen table.
I started there. Didn't stay there.
No, definitely not.
So that's my whole thing. And I mean, look at dude. How do you feel about the Motu style fork?
I bought the Freddy one, obviously.
Dude, they're really smart doing this, I think, man, because you're getting a chance to revamp figures. You're getting a chance for Super 7 to even have a Leatherface figure, even. You know what I mean? We know that NECA has the fucking certain scale likeness rights. You know that
Well,
Mezco has the
it's
others.
kind of doing the Mezco thing. It's like we're gonna do our own kind of take on it, and if you like it, cool. If you don't, these figures are at like Target though. So I mean, you go to Target, you got $10. They're not
That's
in
the
that
thing too.
$20 fucking price point. They're cheap.
Yes, they're
Like they're
nice and
dough.
cheap. You don't got to worry about breaking the bank. I bought the full line and I was like under $100. I was like, this is
Right.
nice.
This is nice.
But it's it's one of those things too. Like without us knowing everything that goes on in the action figure industry, you can almost imagine like, okay, let's take Leatherface for example. NECA, you get the 7 inch. Mezco, you're gonna do the 6 inch. Funko, you can have the 5.5. You can almost imagine that licenses are divvied out this way to a degree.
Right.
And I'm more than happy to see something like this. If you were to tell me this is coming out, I would have been like, why? That's a ridiculous idea.
Right.
But look at it.
But
It's
look at it.
amazing. You get an opportunity to have because they're going like more skin showing and shit like Motu.
Yeah.
They're going like sexy ripped
Oh
guy.
yeah, I love it. Well,
Like
because they did that easy he figure. Like there was so many people doing those customs, and people were flipping out. Like they did the He-Man with the Easy
yep.
E head on
Yep.
it. So it was Easy E. Like it was so easy for them to gravitate towards that because customization was blowing up with that. And obviously, you're like, oh, He-Man, he meets horror. Let's do this.
And I'll tell you guys right now, there's a guy on, I believe it's Instagram. His name's Charlie 5.5. You're gonna
Hmm.
see some amazing customs based on these bucks.
Right.
Anything and everything. Dude, you know what you don't have to worry about with these? Paint rub.
Breaking.
Paint rub, breaking. Actually, people have had problems with these Funkos breaking at the legs. I have like
Really?
7 or 8 of them, and I have not one problem.
Oh
So
man.
that must be a hit or miss, or even a tweak mid-production.
Or they dropped it from 7 feet fucking high and like,
And they act like they didn't.
and then they drop kick some elbows like you did on your Mezco Star Trek figures.
Fucking take that, you son of a bitch!
How dare you fall off the shelf?
I'll fucking really destroy you now.
Oh my god.
But yeah. So I mean, other than that, in my week, it's been just that. I've been taking photos and just collecting and smoking weed and forgetting what the fuck I'm doing.
Is there anything like coming down the pipeline? Like what's the most excited figure that you think is gonna come out? Is there something that's like way down the line or something that's newly coming down the line, or do you like to live vicariously day to day?
I'll tell you this much, dude. The less I pay attention, the less stressed out I am.
Oh wow. I have so many pre-orders right now. It's ridiculous.
I'll tell you one thing. Most of my pre-orders are Mezcos, like the Freddy and whatnot that we were talking about.
Are you excited for that?
I'm very excited for that. And I'll tell you one thing, dude. With taking out with my personally boycotting NECA,
Mm-hmm.
Hasbro, the Star Wars Black Series from Hasbro as well,
Money,
my
money, money.
options are actually a lot less now.
Right. Me too.
So, but I'm able to go and like put my exploration somewhere else into the stuff like this, and by not spending, 30 bucks on a NECA that's just gonna break and piss me off, I can save that money and get like 3 of these Funkos. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because,
Right.
dude, look at what Funko's doing right now. Here's a retro Battle Cat from Mattel back in the day. Dude, look at this from Funko.
Oh wow.
They're doing smart as fuck things right now. They're bringing back old shit that we love. Dude, can you imagine if they brought back like the Star Wars figure or the Star Trek figures? Like
The Rocky line.
companies, they're very smart for going retro, but not in the way that like or Hasbro's doing with just keep releasing the same shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
This is
Right.
not doing that. This is like fucking. This is 20 years old. This is fucking 2 weeks old. You know what I mean? There's something to do with the fucking. They did it right back in the day.
Right.
They gained fans back in the day. They didn't have people bitching about stuff back in the day. So maybe we should do something that they were doing back in the day,
Right.
which is
And the
giving
other
us
thing,
characters, you know?
it's like that's why I like buying the third party figures because they're at that cheap price point where I can customize them to where I want them. Like I
Yeah.
want a little dry brushing on there. So what? Do a little dry brushing on there. Like give them a different head sculpt, whatever. Like that's with that. You got an all white figure. If you want it to look like that, cool. If you want to add some dry brushing to it, who cares? Like
Yeah, but the decision isn't that easy when it's a $230 hot toy.
that's why I don't do it to the
Exactly.
hot toys. I'm doing
Yep.
it to the $120 figure, you
Yeah.
know?
And you can get into that, and that's what we're talking about this too. With the customizing of these, you're not breaking the bank.
Right. Plus, you can part swap with those too. You could put the Freddy arms on his ass.
Yes, yes, they're all fucking universal. And
They're all the same joints.
dude, with the simplicity of it, like I said, it takes away some of the stress, and it brings back
The
it almost
childlike
brings back the
feel.
joy of just even collecting. Like, oh my God, I don't have to worry about pre-ordering this and making sure I have enough money and making sure it doesn't break when it gets here. This is cheap, not gonna break, and awesome.
You're like, I shoot it, it's hype, and then I put it away. I can throw it in the corner if it needs be.
Dude,
It can fall off a shelf 10 feet high.
I get my photography fix, I get my collecting fix, I get my nostalgia fix,
And
all out of one
you
figure.
don't break the bank.
And you don't break the bank. I mean, Super 7, keep going, please. Please.
Do it. All
So
right. Well,
yeah,
I think it's about that time.
that's about it. Are we going to wrap it up or are we gonna fucking blaze up?
We got to blaze up. We got about 14 minutes here.
We're gonna take this time, guys, to get down to the segment we're gonna call Smoke Down and Blaze Up.
And blaze up. So I am currently hitting a pen form,
You would.
which has a very honey like Durban, they call it. And this stuff
Ew.
is the cat's pajamas.
Sounds dirty.
It's not clean.
So I'm smoking Bubba Kush out of a fucking silicone bong.
It looks like my dick.
Look at dude, it's squishy silicone.
That's awesome.
Look, you
Is
can.
the whole thing like that?
Oh, I just spilled a little bit, but yeah, the whole thing comes
Just
apart.
spilled a little bit.
Oops,
That's got to be easy for cleanup then.
dude, the whole thing's squishy. You don't gotta break it. The bowl's glass, but it's in a squishy thing. It's fucking great,
Damn, I want that.
right? Oh, I just dumped mad weed.
I showed you shit and it fucking cost me weed.
Dude, I just dropped my. Hey, oh, it's in the rug.
It's in the rug. I'm
It's
not
in the fucking
scraping it out.
fibers. I can't get it.
That's awesome.
I need a balloon, quick.
Oh, that
Please,
feels
buddy.
nice. So
You know
yeah, we're
what?
trying.
Go ahead.
Oh, I said we're trying to keep it where we're not getting as fucked up as we can, so we can keep our train of thought a little bit more cohesive. This is, in fact, the first show we've done in over a
Years.
year, so definitely give us some time here to figure out more of
know
our
what?
format and.
I'm not as sharp, all stone. I can't make any points about toys and action figures or the direction of companies when I'm fucking ripped up. You know what I mean? So we'll save that for a segment after we take care of all the talking and shit and wrap it up on smoking.
Hopefully, you guys just want to hear us talk bullshit at this point. So,
And I mean, guys, if you don't agree or you agree, write it in the comments. We're not trying to please you. We're not trying to anger you. We're giving our opinions on the shit that we see. That's it.
the
Really. And we're trying to even stay away from showing you too much IG and all that stuff because get back to real collecting, guys.
right.
Not fucking popularity contests, collecting and having fun. That's
Right.
it.
We wanna, show you guys stuff maybe you haven't seen, or maybe you just enjoy hearing people talk about the same shit that you don't get to talk to anybody else about.
That's
So
right.
we
You
want to
know
show
what?
you what we're doing customization wise. I'm constantly doing customs. Eric's doing customs. The
Mhm.
people we have on are probably going to be doing customs. And it's like, I feel like there's not enough podcasting about 1/6 right now. Like, definitely
Yeah.
kit bashing. What is kit bashing? What is customizing? All these things are relative terms, but we really want to figure that out. And like, we want to know where you're at. We want you to know where we're at, and hopefully we can all meet in the middle.
No doubt, no doubt. So, I guess that's wrapping it up, dude. And I guess on behalf of myself, Eric, and behalf of Jared, I guess we'll see you guys next time. Keep playing with your
Or not.
toys.
Keep touching that plastic.
Love you guys.